Good morning. Welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Cristina Schaefer, Director of Social Media for HAR, and today I am joined by HAR's Director of Professional Development, Rita Blevins. Welcome back, Rita.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I know we have a lot of different classes and updates that you want to share with us. And of course, most importantly, some options that are going to help our members achieve some long-term success. So we're going to get into all of that in just a moment. Before we do, I do want to mention that today's Member Focus Monday and the HAR On the Move podcast are sponsored by Johnson Development Company. We're going to hear a little bit from them towards the end of the program and some opportunities they have for realtors. So be sure to tune in and stay tuned in for that. Rita, I know you've been on our program before, but for any member who doesn't know you yet, if you could just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. My name is Rita Blevins. I am the Director of Professional Development for the Houston Association of Realtors. I have worked at HAR for, 24 years and started in the events department, kind of added on some roles and responsibilities, sprinkled in some education. Currently the liaison for Risk Management Advisory Group, our Management Central Advisory Group. I work with our Property Management Subcommittee. I also work with our Texas Realtors Leadership Program and alumni. And on top of all that, the overarching professional development and learning opportunities for our members.
Very good. A lot of different hats that you wear, it sounds like. So great. Thank you. Thank you again for that. And again, we have a lot that we want to talk about today, but I'm just a little curious, where do you get ideas for the classes that HAR holds? And also, can members request a particular class?
Sure. Yeah. And I would love to say that I just sit in my little room and come up with all these fantastic ideas, but that's not the truth. I do a lot of independent research, but we have a phenomenal leadership, a phenomenal president and CEO, Bob Hale, who posts a CEO report. He kind of gets us thinking outside the box and tells us what's going on. It kind of leads us in the direction of understanding what we need to look to help develop our members. We also have some great consultants that we work with, those that you've had on the Member Focus Monday several times, Jeremy Conaway, Jim Sherry, Tracy Brown, one of our newest consultants to work with us on our diversity and inclusion efforts. But they really help us to kind of identify and look at new trends and things that are going on in the industry, and just kind of give us ideas for what we need to do to convey members information to members, right? Whether it be in the form of formal courses or whether it's in atmospheres like this or, video training, tutorials, things like that. But also our advisory group members and just our membership as a whole, they bring us ideas and things. They tell us about their pain points, what's new in the industry, what's going on, what do they need to learn more about? I mean, thinking about, you asked, can members request a particular class? Absolutely. I love when people send me messages and say, do we have something on this? Or I have this great program, or I've learned about this. When we have meetings with our advisory group members, they tell us what we need to help them learn more about. And just for instance, you had Rob Cook on a while back, past chairman of the board, also, works really closely with the Texas Real Estate Commission with regards to standards and curriculum. He and Cindy Heyman, also past chair, worked on creating a video series all about contracts. And why did that come up? It was because a member called me and said, hey, we know that there's changes to the contracts, but we need to know why those changes took place and how we can make sure that we're putting those changes in place in the right way. So we created a video series that's on our HAR TV channel, and it's available for the membership. So just learning opportunities based on that. We had our Risk Management and Management Central group came and said, hey, we have the HOA addendum that's changed. We don't really understand it. It's causing some problems coming to the closing table. So we got some experts, Ron Walker and Don Moore, who are working with title companies and dealing with this on a day-to-day basis, and did a great webinar. So just things that we can do, that the members present us with, that our leadership present us with, and then how do we put those things in play is really dictated by some research that I do and look at. But overall, basically what's brought to me and saying, what do we need to learn more about and how can we go about that?
That's wonderful. So for our members that are tuned in, if you have suggestions for a class or something that you'd like to see, type it into the comments, and Rita can definitely take a look at those and we can discuss some of those here. So with the changes to the Realtor Code of Ethics and also the contracts that you just mentioned, what recommendations or requirements should realtors be aware of right now?
Okay, so the big one obviously is the Code of Ethics training that all our realtor members must take by the end of December this year, right? So there's a flow chart that we posted in the Houston Realtor magazine. There's messaging that we've sent out. You can actually just go to the link, har.com/code of ethics, to ensure that you're in compliance. What's happening is a lot of our realtor members think that they're in compliance and they're really not, because Legal 2 for so many years did afford us the kind of a double whammy, right? You could be you could be approved for your license renewal by taking Legal 2. And then you could also be approved for the Code of Ethics requirement for your Realtor membership through NAR, TAR, and HAR, right? And so now, unfortunately, if you have not taken the Code of Ethics training, you're not in compliance, right? Legal 2, if you took it in 2019, you're okay. But if you took it anytime after 2019 until now, talking about Legal 2, it no longer counts as the NAR requirement for your training. So to answer the question, what do? Go first and foremost, har.com/code of ethics, type in your member information, find out if you're compliant. It'll tell you right there. Now, if you know you took Code of Ethics in the last 3 years and you're like, hey, I took it, I know I should be in compliance, it's showing I'm not, contact us at education. Just you can email us education@har.com or our extension at 370, and we'll look at and see, okay, where did you take it, when did you take it? We'll help you get that information converted over, because what's happened is a lot of members have taken the new agent Code of Ethics training by mistake, and it's not showing the correct. So we can flip that and fix that. But if you haven't taken it, shows you're not compliant, you know you haven't taken it, you can take it self-paced, so you can do it anytime you want in your pajamas. It's free. The links are available on the site. We have it posted, so it looks like you could take it every day, but you can take it whenever you want. That's easy. It's like I said, self-paced. If you want to get it for credit and earn continuing education credit, we are offering it pretty much every single day. There are a few that are out there that cost $10, but for the most part, they're free. We do a deposit, so it's $25. If you no-show, then we charge you. But if you reschedule and you take it, then we don't charge you. So we just want you to get it done. But you can take it in the evening. We have it offered in the evening. We have it offered on Saturdays, and we have it offered during the day. So again, it's har.com/code of ethics. You can also go to the education website and click on Code of Ethics, and it's all there. Just really important, because your membership will be terminated at the end of December if you don't complete this training, and then you won't have access to things that you really need, like zip forms and promulgated contracts and Texas Realtors contracts, members only portal, just things that you wouldn't have access to if you're in compliance. And it's easy.
Yeah, very good. I would encourage agents, brokers that are watching this, tag some other agents in this or share this with them if you think they might not be in compliance, especially if you're a broker, because like you said, that's going to terminate their membership. Demetria had a question here. Once you've taken the ethics courses, NAR automatically notified by the provider, or do we realtors need to submit a completed form to them?
So, Demetria, I appreciate that question. It should automatically populate if you've taken it through NAR's website in the self-paced option. If you took it through HAR or one of Texas Realtors' offerings, we do report it to NAR. So it takes a few days to get it uploaded. So we've had some great size classes, 200, 300, 400 people, which is awesome. But it does take a couple days. But if you look into it and you see that you're not showing current and you haven't, and you've completed it, let us know, and we'll make sure that we get what we need to pass it along.
Okay, very good. And if you could repeat, Tammy asked, how do we check if we've already taken it or not? If you could repeat that for us.
Sure. You can go to NAR's webpage and do that, or you can go to har.com/code of ethics. And it'll ask you for your NAR information, your member information, and then it'll show whether you're current and compliant or whether you're still outside of those boundaries.
All right. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. I'm just curious here, how many of our 46,000 members are currently not compliant.
We're still at about 9,000. But again, last week we thought we were at 10,000, and we found out that there were a lot of folks that had taken the new agent, so we were able to just move that type of training over to the current existing member. So that was a good win for us. But yeah, it's 9,000 members is a big number, and we definitely want to get there before the end of the year. So it's super important. And of course, we're always here if there's any questions. We're happy to do kind of large watch parties whatever we need to do. We want you guys to be compliant and keep your membership active.
Absolutely. And we posted in the comments, education@har.com is the email address if you need to call. Also extension 2370 if you want to call HAR and our membership, our professional development department staff can help you determine if you are compliant or not. Very good, Rita. And if there's any other questions for Rita, go ahead and type those in to the comments. I do still have a lot of questions for you as well, but go ahead and type in your questions for Rita. Ramana asks, can we take it on either website? What happens if we are inactive? Can we take the ethics course? So I guess she's verifying, does it matter which website you take it on? Also, if somebody's currently inactive, can they still take the ethics course?
You can still, you could take it on any website. You could take it. A lot of the schools are offering it. A lot of different affiliate membership groups are offering the classes. If it's approved, you're certainly welcome to take it in any avenue that you'd like. If you're inactive, I'm not sure. I need to find out if it will, if you would have to retake it once you go into active status. But if you're intending to go active before the end of the year, and you're an existing member, then I would definitely say go get active and take it. But I'm not sure. I need to find that out.
Okay, and once you find that out, I'm sure you can post it in the comments for Ramana. Thank you. Tamachia said that she had to check, and she is completed. So she has completed her code of ethics. Very good. Go ahead.
Before I forget, I know you had asked about contracts.
Yes.
There is, and most people are aware of this because it's not the first go around with renewals, but there is a requirement that all Realtor members complete a 3-hour contracts related course for renewal. So part of your 18 hours now is going to be 3 hours of contracts. And you do need to make sure that if you take it through HAR, all of our contracts classes that we offer are approved through the Real Estate Commission for both continuing education credit as well as the compliance piece for that contracts related course. But if you take it through a third party or another group, that's great. That's fine. We don't care. We just want you to get your education. But make sure you check and see that it is approved through the Real Estate Commission as that contracts related course that you're intending it to be.
Okay, very good. Switching gears a little bit here, with the massive increase of members that have joined HAR over the last year and a half, about 8,500 of them. What do you recommend to agents, brokers, or maybe mentors that might be onboarding newer agents?
So I would really just say to take some time, help those individuals learn that this is a career path, that this is a business. Mentor them in a way that they understand that they need to treat this business like a business, right? Mm-hmm. Get them involved with different groups. Really, when you mentor them, right? Get them involved with your brokerage firm. Help them identify different paths of educational opportunities. We offer a lot of great new agent trainings, whether it's 3-hour courses on just how to prospect, how to build a business plan, to our Realtor Launch class, which is also approved for SAE credit, which is what new agents need. But really, kind of take them under your wing and explain to them that, they're going to be involved with gaining clients that are putting their most important, a lot of times their most important investment that they'll ever make, whether they're buying or selling, in your hands. And so you need to make sure that you're doing everything you can to be knowledgeable. And so really just, teaching them about creating a business plan, showing them pathways to do that, and then providing them with educational opportunities that will help them get on that path.
Excellent. So speaking to the newer agents now, like we just discussed, some brokerages, have mentorship programs or training programs to onboard those new agents. But what do you recommend to a newer agent that maybe is working with a brokerage that doesn't provide that or maybe has limited resources where that's concerned?
So if we want to talk specifically about newer agents that don't have access to a full training program that maybe a brokerage offers, there's all sorts of reasons that takes place, and that's okay. But we have a great system in place at HAR. We send out after a member joins, here's a great next step. Here's what you should be expecting. Here's the things you could take. But first and foremost, looking at a path of, how do I treat my business like a business? So when you talk about HAR programs, we mentioned Realtor Launch. It's a great way to start getting you to understand what's all involved in the transaction from contracts to close. Also, we tap into branding and marketing, and we do talk about technology a lot in there. We have a great series called Certified Strategic Marketing Specialist, which is made up of a whole kind of spectrum of 3-hour courses. And they are everything from how to use video to work your business, to prospecting, to how do you use a CRM, what's a CRM, all of those different tools. We have the Contracts Pro series, which incorporates all the different contracts, everything from the residential lease contract to the 1-to-4, what all that is in between, right? So the other thing I would say outside of specifically, I would say get involved in our webinar series, learn about things, but get a mentor, get a real estate coach, get involved with different groups that can help you kind of build a community and know what's next.
Excellent. Richard Ortiz just commented, I'd strongly recommend they pursue taking the HCP designation to learn the contracts and related forms. So great suggestion there from Richard.
Yeah, that's the Contracts Pro certification that we created. And it is comprised of several different courses that they earn a certification once they've taken the courses. And of course, there's no time limit to earn it. All those classes are approved for continuing education, and it does comply with the contracts renewal for TREC.
Excellent. So speaking of designations, how important are realtor designations and certifications? Sometimes I hear people say, well, consumers don't know what that means. Do you agree with that? And also, does it matter if the consumer knows what it means?
Well, so I think it does give you an absolute advantage, first and foremost. When people are looking every day for anything, they're going to look at, obviously ratings are huge. And we have our client experience rating system that a program that we have in play, but also they're going to look at what differentiates this realtor from another realtor. And, you mentioned earlier, we have 46,000 members. So there's a lot of members, and how do you distinguish or differentiate yourself from another realtor, even if it's a referral, right? So they're going to look online. That consumers are equipped with so much more access to information today that they probably will go in and look and say, what is a, ADWHD, right? Or what's an ABR, what's a GRI, what's a CIPS? And if they're, when they're looking for specific types of marketplaces, whether if it's luxury market or somebody that specializes or maybe needs affordable housing programs, if you've earned designations that support that area or that niche, then they're going to lean to you before they move into another realtor and work with another realtor. So it can definitely give you a leg up from the get-go. Google's out there, and it's very easy just to say, what is a CIPS, right? And so especially if you're, just what is an ABR? What is this designation? And also it shows the consumer, even if they don't take that step to learn what is that designation or what does it stand for, that the realtor has invested time in building their business and to learn more about specific areas. So they're gonna get that impression that you have, you're more engaged and involved, and it's not kind of a part-time thing that you're not really working for, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Fun little exercise I like to do with some agents sometimes is I'll tell them, go search for other realtors in your zip code on har.com and see how many there are. Then maybe put in some of those refining search options like maybe a language, right? Or in this case, a designation or certification. How many other, luxury home specialists or accredited buyers representatives are there in your area? So it's an interesting little exercise if anyone's curious to go do that on HAR's website after this. And also, we should mention that on HAR's website, when a consumer is searching, it does tell them what those designations are, so they don't even have to Google, right?
Yeah, and you made a good point. Is if you can designate that you have worked in different, if you speak different languages, you're multilingual. You can put that as an option. If you specialize in various cultures, you can post that it comes up on your search, and so it could be a great way to gain clients, or at least to have a shot at listing presentation, or to have a conversation with somebody about why it might be great for you to represent them. So it absolutely, designation is going to give you an absolute leg up when members are doing, or consumers are doing research on who they lean in towards.
So we've kind of hinted at this with our designation certification talk here, but how important is it for realtors to have a niche? And how would, maybe you're a newer agent, you're only a couple years into the business, how would you even determine what that niche should be?
So when you I think initially people just think of very specific, areas. We talked about luxury as one, but there can be all types of niches or markets. But the thing that's important is that if you decide that you're going to focus on one, really, really learn about that area, right? Become the expert. Become the go-to. But it can mean anything. It can mean luxury, but it can also mean working with seniors. It can mean working with those that need financial down payment assistance, to be the go-to to know about. It can mean working with school teachers. It can mean working with veterans. We have Veterans Month coming up, and we just had a webinar about Veterans Affairs and Programs, and there's such a misconception about affordability and different things for VA loans and things. And so, you can really kind of just build a business base when you specialize in one specific area. Some of you all had lives before you became realtors. And so looking at that as a potential marketplace or specialization to gain clients and become kind of the go-to. I do know that there are a lot of teams out there that hire veterans and work with veterans. And so, not to just tap in on that one specific area, but that's a niche, right? Like you're working with veterans and helping them, whether it become part of your brokerage firm or agents, or gaining clients. And so there's all kinds of programs that are out there. There's all kind of opportunities. Some people that, a lot of realtors, what I've learned over the years, is past school teachers, right? So, and so school teachers have, go into the schools where you used to teach or used to work, and, get to know that group and say, become kind of their go-to. And there's different programs and things that are out there for people like that. So, it's definitely, I would say, important to get a niche of some sort, but it might not be specifically what you're thinking, right? And so, maybe it's international real estate, or even if it's investment or commercial. So there's different areas that you can become really expert in. But I would say, if you're going to not be broad and say, I represent all buyers and I represent all sellers, if you're going to become a neighborhood specialist, right? Like I work in the Katy area, then know Katy, know the Woodlands. Don't just say I'm a neighborhood specialist in all neighborhoods, really focus and learn that, and that can really help you.
Very good. So you've mentioned a couple recommendations so far on a few specific classes, but just anything that you haven't mentioned yet as far as courses that you'd recommend to a newer agent, a seasoned agent, and also to maybe a broker.
So stepping aside from just classes, I would say really looking at what's out there in the realm of learning opportunities. HAR really does. We do a lot of work on trying to provide a lot of information in all different ways, in all different capacities, at all different levels. So, we do have a lot of great designations. We have everything that NAR recognizes offered on a regular basis, from GRI, which is a great designation for newer agents and for those that are a little bit more seasoned. And we have everything all the way. I see Tracy just wrote with the safe, we have safety boot camp and training. But we also, for seasoned agents, looking at kind of the CRBs and the CRSs, a little bit higher level, more engaged, but also looking at webinars that we host that are very topical. Every month we have, something different on affordable housing. We have something different on property management. These sessions that you do on Monday are topical both from an industry standpoint and a community standpoint. And so just leaning in and learning about these things from all different ways. If you go to our HAR TV YouTube channel, there is everything under the sun that we've ever done that's posted there with learning opportunities, and they're easy to just watch, right? You do a tutorial, I know, on the Platinum MLS page, I think, on Tuesdays once a month, and it's got great information on what's new in the MLS, what's new for Platinum agents. And we had, thinking about programs and different ways to learn and grow for seasoned agents, brokers, new agents, everybody in between. I saw a group of our Realtor members that are TRLP graduates, Texas Realtors Leadership Program graduates. They were all at the Tom Ferry conference. Go and get engaged in these conferences. We had the Engage conference. It was virtual. You could log in. It was free. And now it's recorded and it's available on HAR TV. But Tom Ferry was there, with Referral Workman with coaching, Tracy, the safety lady, like she mentioned. We had a phenomenal speaker on value propositions. So I would say not just specifically classes. We want you engaged. We want you taking those classes. We want you learning more about your business and the things, both from a compliance standpoint to a professional development, business building standpoint. But also there's so many things in between that you could just keep leaning into and learning about. For seasoned agents and brokers, I would say, hey, we have the Texas Realtors Leadership Program we're bringing back in 2022. Applications will start being available the first week of December. It's a great way to build a community and a relationship with other like-minded people that are hoping to grow. And so there's just really everything in between. It's not specifically one course. We have a lot going on, a lot of different designations and things, but it's really what's going to be of interest to you. And if you go to the education site, you'll see we've got it broken down in all different ways and all different course topics and categories.
Very good. I like on the education website that you can search by a specific word as well. So if I were to go and search, negotiation or matrix or whatever the case is, I can find a list of classes that are going to come up. Very good. So, and we do have some people posting links in the comments. We have Teresa Murphy posting some of the specific classes you mentioned. Claudia, our director of video services, posted our YouTube channel that you mentioned with all of those recordings. And also just har.com/education is the education website if you want to just go and search. I did mention at the top of the program that today's Member Focus Monday and this week's HR On the Move podcast are sponsored by Johnson Development Company. We're going to take a quick watch at a video that Monica Conchola sent in for us, telling us about some of the opportunities they have for realtors. So let's watch this and then we'll be back in just a moment with Rita.
Thanks. So much going on in our Johnson communities. At Grand Central Park, we just opened the lake house, the fitness room, resort style pool, event lawn, huge covered pavilion, and the patio with lake views. We also have a new playground and a dog park, including commercial properties such as a grocery store and high-end restaurants. The Hyatt Regency Conroe Hotel and Convention Center is breaking ground in the city's Central District, offering full-service restaurants, full bar, a pool deck, gym, and a convention center. At Wood Forest, we are featuring award-winning builders with homes priced in the low 300s. We have Commercial District is growing with places like Love Coffee, Wolfgang Bakery, and medical facilities. Several amenities coming soon with a pool, dog park, open-air pavilion, and 9-hole disc golf. Recently opened was the Palm Community Building and Event Lawn. At Amira, new models are coming soon with award-winning builders. Come by and check out the wonderful amenities Amira has to offer. As with all Johnson Development communities, we offer great public and realtor events. As typical with all Johnson Development communities, we have great charities and programs we are committed to. Visit our website to learn more.
So thank you again to Monica and Johnson Development Company for sponsoring this week's show and this week's podcast. Rita, you've shared so many great tips for realtors this morning. Is there anything else that you'd like our members to know that we did not touch on yet?
So there's a few things. I just want to remind everyone that we do have weekend, evening, Saturdays, Spanish delivered classes. So if you want to take classes in a live remote setting, we have access to do that, like I said, evenings, weekends, and during the day. We also have the Spanish delivered courses available to our members. We are going out to brokerage offices as well and offering training there. We have a fantastic series coming up on November 19th. It's called Inclusion Insights, and it's going to be our first part of our diversity and inclusion series regarding books that we're going to be recommending that you review and you take into account and look at when we're working with different clients to help you build your communication skills and to work better. So if you go to har.com/diversity or har.com/webinars, you'll be able to find that there. We also have on November 17th, the Affordable Housing Webinar Series. It's the last one we're hosting this year. It's going to be all about home ownership for those that need assistance with credits. It's going to teach realtors about the programs that are available to their clients regarding credit repair, also how to become involved with that. Finally, I just think it's very important to understand that as realtors and as brokers, it's your responsibility to be at the forefront of the transaction and to know what's happening in all things, whether it's a contracts issue or changes in the community, things you want to be, it's important for you to be aware of those things. So support those, whether you're a broker supporting your agent or whether you're an agent supporting your client. Always give back. If you're authentic, it'll go so much further than just always thinking at that bottom line. And get involved. Our Get Involved is available for advisory groups until November 23rd. It's easy, har.com/get involved. Pick the advisory groups that you're most interested in, rank them, and by the 23rd of November, and we'll have announcements made in December about new advisory groups. Also, get involved with Women's Council of Realtors, get involved with your multicultural advisory groups that are out there. Just get involved. I've never heard anybody say that they were less successful because they took the time to learn more or get involved. So that's my final remarks, and best of luck to everyone. Take your code of ethics.
Yes, take your code of ethics. Find out if you need to take your code of ethics and take it if you haven't. Very good. Well, Rita, thank you again for everything you've shared today. A lot of comments. People are happy with what you had to share and thankful for the information that you've shared and the work that you and your department do. So thank you again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Well, that's it for this week's Member Focus Monday. We will be back next Monday at 9 a.m. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.